What's happening, man? What's happening? What's up? How's everybody doing, man? Ethiopian Day in Atlanta. The FBA is gonna be mad about that. The FBAs, man, they gonna be mad, man. Man, they gonna be mad about that. We already know that. I can't wait to see what they say about this. Go back to your own country. Um, Jamaicans worship those people though. They worship Haile Selassie, man. So and those Jamaicans are West Africans, the descendants of West Africans. Worshiping a damn horn African, man. Worshiping a daggone horn African. Those horn Africans would never worship a black dude that looked like me, man. But they listen. We got a spot, and yeah, when they hit, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. When they hit, they hit. They look good, and they all got fat. I'm talking about they all got cakes, man. That's part of their bloodline. Their bloodline. Like if you find, I don't think I've ever seen one, and I've seen a lot of them. Because the Silver Spring is like literally Ethiopia. Um, they're everywhere down there, man. I ain't even gonna lie, man. I seen a lot of them in my time, man. Um, and I've never seen one without cakes, man. I've never seen one that don't have cakes, that don't have cheeks. Never. They got just something about them, man. They got a little shape that run in there. They they got a shape that run in their DNA, man. It's like and it's undefeated, man. Yeah, they got a little something about, and they got a different look than typical Africans, man. They're a hybrid race, man. They're not a They're not a full African race. They're like because of where they located, they got a lot of Indian, uh, Middle Eastern, Anglo blood flowing through their veins too. But because they're like a race, they've codified it over the years by only um, reproducing with each other. So they've created their own like sub race. They're like a sub race. They're like Indians to me, where it's like they're just their own race. They're not black. They're not white. They're just them. Yeah, FBA is gonna be upset about that, man.
Excuse me, sir. Trump or Kamala for president? Who? What? Trump or Kamala for president? Kamala.
Excuse me, sir? Trump or Kamala?
Kamala.
What would you say to Trump if he was here right now?
I wouldn't talk to him.
Excuse me, sir? Trump or Kamala for president?
Kamala.
Trump or Kamala
What are you talking about?
for president?
That camera, boy, it's hard. Once they see that camera, they know they better say Kamala, man. They don't want no smoke with their wife when they go home. They don't want no beef with their wife, man. Why every time Trump runs, he got to run against a woman? Isn't that crazy? Trump always running against a damn woman. And it creates this dynamic like he's a sexist, misogynistic. But yeah, but I don't think nobody wants no woman running their damn country, man. I don't think people want a woman running their country. I think I think some of these guys are lying. I think this first guy's telling the truth.
Excuse me, sir. Trump or Kamala for president? Who? What? Trump or Kamala for president? Kamala.
He might be lying too. Watch he look at the camera.
Who? What? Trump or Kamala for president? Kamala.
He might be telling the truth.
Excuse me, sir? Trump or Kamala?
Kamala.
What would you say
Yeah, I think this guy's telling the truth too.
to Trump if he was here right now?
I wouldn't talk to him.
Excuse me, sir? Trump or Kamala for president?
Kamala.
Trump or Kamala
What are you talking about?
for president? Trump or Kamala?
Kamala. Fuck Trump.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy, man. These old boomers, but boomers are like that. Boomers are like they call them the greatest generation. I don't know, man. Y'all not the greatest generation. The greatest generation is the one that abolished slavery and started the industrial revolution. That two things that had never been done in the history of the world. Press one. That generation that lived in the mid 1800s, the mid to late 1800s, that abolished slavery had never been done in the world, and created the industrial revolution, which had never been done in the world. That's the greatest generation, man. And if not them, then it's the generation of the forefathers that wrote the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and kicked England out. That's another great. That these boomers keep calling themselves the greatest generation. They're actually like the third or fourth greatest generation. They're like the third or fourth greatest generation of American history, man. We gotta. Nah, man. Y'all don't get to keep calling yourselves the greatest generation. Nah, we're not doing that anymore, man. We gotta call them out, man. The greatest generation. No. because y'all won a world war. Big deal. Big deal. The greatest generation. Everyone hit the like button, man. Everyone smash that like button, man.
Kamala for president.
Kamala.
Trump or Kamala?
What are you talking about?
For president, Trump or Kamala?
Kamala. Fuck Trump.
You were the first person to say Kamala.
Right.
I don't really like her.
Well, I don't care.
What would you say to
Trump's an asshole. He belongs in jail.
Excuse me, sir. Trump or Kamala for president?
Who what?
Trump or Kamala for president?
Kamala.
Excuse me?
Let's see the comments, man. Comments gonna be juicy on this one, man. Yeah, I thought he would get a different. These old white men give us all hope, especially the last guy. God, dog. If only they all, including the guy asking the question, could pronounce her name correctly. Well, they're racist then, sir. They're racist because they won't pronounce her name right, man. Go ahead and call those cucked out boomers some racists, man. You know you want to. Because it's racist to not pronounce her name right. It brings up slavery and the disproportionate institutions of oppression that we all have faced up until this day when you mispronounce Kamala's name, man. Kamala. I think there's a better ring to it, man. If I was to meet, I'd be like, man, you should pronounce it Kamala, man. I mean Kamala, man. Kamala is like black people don't talk like that, man. Even if your name was Kamala, we still would call you Kamala, man. Ain't you black? Don't you know that we don't care how you pronounce your name? We gonna call you whatever the hell we want to. Stop calling her by her first name, Kamala. Show respect. Her name is Harris. Kabama, yeah. That's her name, Kabama, man. Kabama. White men who are voting for Harris Waltz pronounce her name correctly as Kamala. He said, here's the real video. Okay.
Trump or Kamala?
Trump.
Trump or Kamala for president?
Trump.
Trump or Kamala?
Trump or Kamala?
Trump.
Trump or Kamala for president?
Trump.
Trump or Kamala?
Who?
Trump or Kamala?
Oh, not Kamala.
Excuse me, sir? Trump or Kamala?
Trump.
Trump or Kamala?
Huh?
Trump or Kamala?
Oh, Trump for sure.
Trump or Kamala?
Trump.
Trump or Kamala?
Trump.
Trump or Kamala?
How about if you stop doing that, please?
Trump or Kamala?
Trump.
Trump or Kamala for president?
Trump.
Not a single person said Kamala yet. Trump or Kamala?
What are you talking about?
for president, Trump or Kamala?
Kamala. Fuck Trump.
You were the first person to say Kamala.
Right.
I don't really like her.
Well, I don't care.
What would you say to
Trump's an asshole. He belongs in jail.
What would you say to Trump if he was here right now?
I would shoot him.
Trump or Kamala, guys?
Shoot him.
Trump or Kamala for president?
That guy said he would shoot him. That guy said he would shoot him. You see how unhinged liberals are? That guy said he would shoot him. Wow. That's crazy.
I would shoot him.
Trump or Kamala, guys?
Trump or Kamala for president?
Trump.
Wow. Wow. Everyone hit the like button. Take the $5 challenge via PayPal, Cash App, or Super Chat. Damn. That's crazy.
The floor directed to the roof. Cool, kick the nation with the groove. Cool, kick the nation with the grooves. Then we rock the place.
Wow. Um, oh yeah. Homie ran up on okay, it says breaking. Multiple police officers have come forward stating that Kamala Kumbama. Multiple police officers come forward stating that Kabama. I ain't gonna lie, man. That makes me laugh, man. Kabama, man. Multiple police officers have come forward stating that Kabama is 100% intoxicated in this clip, and she would have been charged with a DUI if she was behind the wheel of a car.
Because when we think about the strength of our democracy, you know, I think that there's a duality to the nature of democracy. When it's intact, oh, it's so strong in terms of what it does to uphold and protect individual rights and freedoms. So strong in its nature. And it's very fragile. It will only be as strong as our willingness to fight for it.
What the hell is you talking about, Kabama?
You not talk while I'm standing here and you standing down there? Listen, dude. You listen. I just need you to turn. Go down. If you keep walking up.
Listen, motherfucker. I ain't trying to fucking fight you.
All right, bro, then go downstairs.
No, fucking shake my head.
You not talk while I'm standing here and you standing down there?
Listen, dude.
That's a great picture, man. That's a great picture, man. Donald J. Trump. Oh, shit, he tweeted. Is this his first tweet? Is this his first tweet back? Is that his first tweet back? I don't know, man. That's a hell of a tweet, man. I love that. This is a hell of a picture. That is her ass right there. Yep, that's her. Damn. Self-confessed bold lib posted this. I'm 42. I'm child free. It's Sunday fun day. Let's go. Along with the caption, the right hate this. Do you hate this? Hey man, listen, man. I don't care what you doing, man. I'm glad you ain't got no kids, man. You gonna make them liberal nutcases like you. You probably, if she had a boy, she probably put him in a dress. If she got a girl, she probably put him in a goddamn some overalls, man. She's the type to do something like that. Force her kid to be trans. I'm glad you don't have kids, man.
I'm 42, child free. It's Sunday fun day. No babysitter needed. Let's go. I'm 42.
Shut up. Japanese people are xenophobic, man. They wouldn't do that if it was a black man, man. If a black man fell asleep, man, they wouldn't do this for him.
What is that?
What?
Hold that out.
This?
Yeah.
What is it?
What is it?
What is it? I swear, it's like a baby chicken. What the hell? What is it? It's a second chicken. Oh, it was pregnant. That's the saddest thing I've ever Oh my god. I feel. Oh my god.
You do know that chickens lay eggs, you dumb broads, but whatever.
I can't think this right now. Oh my god. Can I not eat turkey?
Turkeys have eggs. They don't have babies.
We can't eat it now. We cannot eat that.
This is a rock Cornish hen that we put in there. Okay, it's a joke.
You're so
Right?
funny.
Turkeys have eggs. Like chickens. They don't have babies.
No, that's a sick joke.
It is sick. It was funny.
It's not. It wasn't funny.
That's funny.
That's disgusting.
Mom's crying. It wasn't that funny.
Many moons ago, before they decided to establish Israel as a country. I know you've read like the short version in the classroom, and it was like, oh, the Holocaust happened, and then we realized that Israel needs a state. No, that's not how it went down. That's not how it went down at the F all, okay? Catholics and Christians were going missing on Passover, and then they would find bodies, okay, across Europe, and they were able to trace them back to Jews. Blood libel. They weren't Jews, okay? These were Frankists. And so just like Leo Frank killed Mary Fagin on Passover back in 1913 or 1914, I can't remember the exact date, he did it during Passover for a reason. This Frankist cult, which is masquerading behind Jews, still participates in this shit to this day, okay? Why would you want, as a small nation that is the size of New Jersey, okay, why would you want the pedophiles to flee there? Like, why would you want the pedophiles to be procreating? Unless the nation of Israel may have been established by some Frankists. And it's looking like Theodore Herzl's family was from the exact same area in Moravia and in Bohemia where the Frankist cult was founded. Crazy when you get into his family, that like maybe Theodore Herzl, who wrote in a book that he didn't care how many Jews had to die for him to get the state of Israel, like maybe he was not actually a Torah worshiping Jew. Like, I don't know. I'm just throwing out some ideas here. And by throwing out some ideas, I mean, I've read a ton of books and I figured it out. Okay. I am just like so over the idea that Israel is our ally and friend. If another person says that stupid statement, I'm going to personally punch you in the face. I am. It's going to be me. That's a joke. Don't take this video off of Twitter.
Wow. She's going full fisherman, man. See, there goes a black chick for you fishermen. If you ever want to get down with the brown man, y'all can have conversations all night, man. Talk about the juice crew, man. Hey, she fuck that kid up. You notice she wears a lot of big blazers now. All her blazers are very big. They're trying to like that. She doesn't wear form-fitting blazers like she used to. Shout out to Muramasa, man. Yo, look up blood libels. Small Hats did them things for years. All right, we'll look that up, man. But Kamala's wearing a lot of big blazers now, big business suits. And I think that's an attempt to kind of erase her feminine form. Because previously she used to wear form-fitting business suits that would kind of, accentuate her feminine shape. But now she's wearing big stuff where it looks like, and I think that's all part of like, a think group or a focus group or something like that. They know that, that don't nobody want no woman running their damn country. So they're going to put her in more, they're trying to make her look more masculine. I'm sure she's laying off the makeup a little bit too. Because they know people don't want no damn woman running their country, man.
I just Doritos. Huh? Ah, Dougie, there they are. Yeah. Thank you.
I know you want those. What do you?
See corn nuts over there
Isn't this
too?
it?
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's the big. There you go.
That's
Corn nuts over there.
Well, she likes Doritos, man. So she's human at least. At least she's human. Yeah, I've seen this, man. Them Jaguars be, yo, that is crazy. They hunt Cayman, man. I've seen this several times. Not this video, but several other videos of Jaguars, man. Jaguars are fierce, man. You about to go eat that joint too, man. God damn, that's crazy. Um,
Good girl.
Feeling good, girl.
Make my smile.
Say something funny.
How about yeah, let me hear your number, girl.
Yeah, let me see your phone.
Really? Where you going? Oh, okay, I see. Come on, what? Is it because I'm ugly? Huh? Is it because I'm ugly?
this is not real. This is not real. This is fake. This is fake. White guys don't do this, man. Black guys the only ones that do this. Press 1. Black guys is the only ones that do this. I've never seen white guys do this, man.
Yeah, it is. You'll find someone though. You will.
Say not me.
Son? Can you call me mother? Because that kind of makes me really hot. Do you have mommy issues? Because I have daddy issues.
We're good. We're good.
I know what you're doing. I'm like kind of into it. This whole like shadowing thing. And I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's just that I'm not particularly into the fat guys. So like, let's just keep walking and like.
Yeah, that was so fake. That was so fake, man. That is crazy, man. Let me see. She said blood libel. Look up blood libel. Let me see, man. Blood libel. Let's look at blood libel, y'all.
Welcome to Anti-Semitism Uncovered, a video series by ADL created to explain and combat the most common anti-Semitic myths. Blood libel, the outrageous and dangerous myth that Jews murder non-Jews to use their blood for religious rituals, has fueled anti-Semitism and violence for centuries. In 1991, a Syrian delegate read charges of blood libel on the floor of the UN Human Rights Commission. The Syrian delegate claimed the book The Matzah of Zion by the Syrian defense minister proved Jews engaged in ritual murder. Anti-Semitic propaganda still spreads claims of Jews drinking blood and eating children. Nazi propagandists spurred fear of Jewish plans for mass murder and blood rituals. Blood libel accusations also incited the 1903 pogrom in Russia and 1946 pogrom in Poland. The myth emerged in the 12th century when Jews were accused of killing Christian children as a perverse reenactment of Jesus' crucifixion. The myth later took on a blood motif, that Jews were killing for Christian blood. This medieval myth was reinforced by the infamous 1840 Damascus blood libel, where a number of Jews were arrested and tortured after the accusation of murdering Father Thomas, a Christian monk, and his servant for the purpose of using their blood to bake matzah, an event which led to Jews all over the world uniting to bring a voice to the suffering caused from this absurd accusation. The irony of the blood libel myth is that Jewish religious law explicitly forbids the consumption of any blood, human or animal. Several popes have acknowledged that there is no truth to this charge, but it still serves to dehumanize and spur violence against Jews, even to this day.
See, man, it's a myth, man. It's a myth, Muramasa. Damn myth, man. You done showed me a myth, man. I believe those Juice Crew people 100%, man. Oh, they had a mass shooting in Baltimore. Only one man's dead.
Jones.
Hold on. Sorry, sir.
I'm just a troublemaker today. I'm sorry. Sorry. Me here tonight is Chief Administrative Officer Faith Leach, Deputy Commissioner Kevin Jones, Fire Department Chief Jay Wallace, Deputy Mayor Anthony Barksdale, and Assistant Deputy Mayor Sam Johnson. This evening, just after 8 p.m., officers received multiple calls for a shooting to the 1300 block of Spring Street. Once on scene, officers located multiple male victims and one female victim suffering from gunshot wounds. At this time, we have 8 confirmed victims. One individual was pronounced deceased, 36-year-old male. Preliminarily, the victims range in age from 22 to 45. The victims range in condition from critical to stable. Our homicide detectives are on the scene, scouring the scene for witnesses and possible ballistic evidence. ATF is also here helping us with the investigation.
Okay, so mass shooting in Baltimore, nothing new. Nothing new there. It's another mass shooting, man. Yeah. Hold on. Hold on. My daughter had a nightmare, man. She had a bad dream, man. She wanted me to she wanted to talk to me about her bad dream, man. Yeah, man. Crazy, man. Yeah, monsters and shit. I'm like a mosquito monster. She said was buzzing in her ear, and I had to go like see where the monster was, and check out the room and I had to clear the room like the SWAT team do when they had to clear the room, man. Make sure it was safe in there, man. So everything's all good, man. Everything's all good though now.
Two young children are critical tonight following this terrible crash in Camden County. This was no typical accident. Police say a man stole a car, led Deptford Township officers on a chase, and then crashed into a vehicle with the two children and an adult inside. Our Kelly Rule has more.
Several of the neighbors on the tight-knit block where this all came to an end say they ran to help the 7- and 8-year-old children injured in the crash. Most of them too traumatized to talk on camera tonight. Police say fortunately the children are expected to physically recover from their injuries. Ring doorbell video provided to Fox 29 captures the terrifying moments Saturday evening. Gloucester City police say Deptford Township police were pursuing a stolen car when it crashed into a car driving down Morris Street with two children inside, 7 and 8 years old, and then hit a home.
I was just praying and I heard like a really big boom, and it was so clear. As I was coming down, I did see a little boy being taken by the medics.
Police say the driver of the stolen vehicle, 32-year-old Joshua Chrisman, tried to run away but was taken into custody. The two children passengers in the other car were taken to the hospital with critical injuries. The 24-year-old driver treated for minor injuries, and a fourth passenger was not injured, according to investigators. The owner of the blue house, which still has some visible damage, says structurally it should be okay.
And everybody simultaneously came out of their homes in the neighborhood.
The video shows several neighbors rushing to the crash to help the victims, many still too shaken to do an interview today. From this view, the roughly 20-second clip does not show a Deptford Township police officer trailing the car. Neighbors say children often play outside on the tight-knit block, and this could have been even.
My bad. I thought I was muted, man. My bad.
Ran to help the 7 and 8-year-old children injured in the crash. Most of them too traumatized to talk on camera tonight. Police say fortunately the children are expected to physically recover from their injuries. Ring doorbell video provided to Fox 29 captures the terrifying moments Saturday evening. Gloucester City police say Deptford Township police were pursuing a stolen car when it crashed into a car driving down Morris Street with two children inside, 7 and 8 years old, and then hit a home.
I was just praying and I heard like a really big boom, and it was so clear. As I was coming down, I did see a little boy being taken by the medics.
Police say the driver of the stolen vehicle, 32-year-old Joshua Chrisman, tried to run away but was taken into custody. The two children passengers in the other car were taken to the hospital with critical injuries. The 24-year-old driver treated for minor injuries, and a fourth passenger was not injured, according to investigators. The owner of the blue house, which still has some visible damage, says structurally it should be okay.
And everybody simultaneously came out of their homes in the neighborhood.
The video shows several neighbors rushing to the crash to help the victims, many still too shaken to do an interview today. From this view, the roughly 20-second clip does not show a Deptford Township police officer trailing the car. Neighbors say children often play outside on the tight-knit block, and this could have been even worse.
They need to be a little more cognizant of the fact that there are kids, a lot of kids on this block, and there's a school right by here.
Hey, why don't you go back to your country and see how cognizant they are of children playing in the street when they dropping bombs and shit and blowing shit up. Shout out to Big Larry, man, in the building, man. Patrick Lawrence in the building. Salute to you, man. Coming through, man. Patrick Lawrence. Wow.
County Sheriff's Office is mourning
Wow.
after losing a deputy in the line of duty.
And that deputy, his name was Brandon Cunningham, and he was shot and killed while responding to a domestic disturbance call Saturday night. Tonight, our Atlanta News First reporter, Blake Devine, has been on top of this story, and he's back out at the scene in Hiram at the house where this all happened. Blake, you're really getting a look at the aftermath of this violent standoff that we covered last night.
Tori and Carly, we're here in Hiram. This is where neighbors watched hundreds of police personnel from all across the state of Georgia handling this scene. And you can see the devastation right now as we speak. There's bullet holes. The roof is ripped off and the garage door is down. Deputies say SWAT teams used drones, robots, even armored trucks to force their way into this home. A deputy is dead in Paulding County, shot responding to a domestic dispute call in Hiram. Sheriff Gary Gillage fighting back tears on Saturday night.
We have lost a hero. Deputy Brandon Cunningham has succumbed to a gunshot wound at the emergency room over here at Paulding.
The suspect, Jimmy Atkins, also shot his wife, Kim Vu, before barricading himself in this home for
Damn glider, man. We got a Melungeon, man. Oh, y'all gonna start calling everything that's the glider? Y'all gonna start calling them Melungeons?
What's a Melungeon?
Melungeon, man. It's like a race, man. A new race in Appalachia, man. They look like gliders, but they got some sun features. I covered it yesterday, man. Is this a Melungeon, guys? Press 1 if this is a Melungeon, man. You gliders don't want to take credit for your crime, man.
Are the eyes close together on Melungeons? Is that part of the phoneme?
No, I don't know. That's a
Numb.
great question. I don't know. I'm not sure.
What do you see there? Is it his nose? What's the what's suspect on this guy?
The hair, like the hair looks kind of like Sunny, the way it lays down. I mean, like, you know, when it's short,
Looks very tight.
Up,
yeah.
you know.
Yep.
The head, the way the head is shaped like a egg. That's a Sunman thing.
Yeah. We won't know for sure till he runs the 40.
Yeah, man. I mean, he already killed somebody, so there's that. Let's see. Apple Kiss in the building. She says, you all that in a bag of chips, man. Salute to you, man. Salute to Apple Kiss.
barricading himself in this home for several hours. He eventually ended his own life, shooting and killing himself. Neighbors now still in shock.
Cool guy, kept to himself, did a lot of yard work for himself, always waved. So it's very crazy to see that he caused this chaotic scene last night, which is very wild to see.
We also talked to Ernie Atkins, who arrived at his brother's home on Sunday to see this devastating damage.
Everybody's hurt, and we just want to send our prayers to the officer's family, Paulding County Sheriff's Department, that we are truly sorry for their loss, and we're praying for them, and we ask for your prayers as well.
Atkins' wife Kim is still alive in stable condition at an Atlanta area hospital after being shot in the shoulder. Ernie says she still has a long road to recovery.
So she called the cops. She got shot. The cop got shot. She survived. The cop dies. Ain't that a bitch? Now she's gonna fucking be writing this fucker in jail. Press 1 if you think this bitch who just survived this fucking ordeal is gonna be writing this fucker in jail.
Alert and oriented, she's talking, but she's in a lot of pain, and she's not out of the woods.
The Paulding County Sheriff's Office in mourning after the death of Deputy Brandon Cunningham, a 30-year-old father of 2.
He's dead? Okay, he's dead too? Okay, well, she'll be fucking crying about him. She'll be mourning him. Who thinks she's gonna be mourning this fucker? Who thinks she's gonna be thinking about what could have been? What could have been? Who thinks she's gonna be like lamenting that she called the cops and beating herself up about it? Maybe I shouldn't have called the cops. It's my fault. He was killed. Not the cop, but her fucking thug ass boyfriend.
This guy's the shooter.
Developing news out of Paulding County, where an officer was killed while responding to a domestic violence call last night. This is Deputy Brandon Cunningham here, was killed in the line of duty Saturday night. We brought this to you live on the air. Tonight, we're learning more about just what happened. New at 6, Fox 5 has obtained a previous mugshot from the Georgia Department of Corrections. This is James Atkins. Atkins had a lengthy criminal history, serving time in Cobb County for robbery and possession of marijuana. Let's get right out to live team coverage for you of the shooting. Fox 5's Joy Dukes is live with reaction from the community. We want to start with Fox 5's Eric Mock. You were there last night walking us through. Eric, what can you tell us today?
Eric, we actually have breaking news that just has come in within the last few minutes before we came on live with you. We actually just spoke with the brother of James Atkins, who was here at the scene with his family going through the house. And we just spoke with him. He told us that his brother battled demons and that he and his wife had fought before, but that they couldn't understand how he could have done something like this. And they did say that he was a gun owner. They said it was very normal for their family to own guns. They grew up hunting. And again, they said they had fought before, him and his wife, who we now has been identified as Kim Tao Vu. She was shot in this, and she's in the hospital. He said the family has spoken with her. She's doing okay. She will recover, but she's got a long road to recovery ahead, and that she was shot in the shoulder. I'm telling you, this breaking news. We just got this a few minutes before coming on, but we do want to show you the house here. This is really badly damaged because we are learning today that deputies and officers used armored trucks to make entry into the home, a SWAT armored Bearcat. They also used drones and robots to make entry, where they say James Atkins was shooting at deputies from inside the home. And this was after he had shot and killed.
Look at this, man. Look what they did to get in that fucking house for this bitch. And she ain't even gonna mention the fact she would never mention that the cop died for her. She'll talk about this day 100 times and never mention like, yeah, the cop gave his life for me, and a bunch of other cops performed heroically in the face of incoming gunfire. They just talk about, oh my God, I'm a survivor of. She's gonna be running around talking about she's a survivor of domestic violence.
That deputies and officers used armored trucks to make entry into the home, a SWAT armored Bearcat. They also used drones and robots to make entry, where they say James Atkins was shooting at deputies from inside the home. And this was after he had shot and killed Deputy Brandon Cunningham. And again, we want to show you, this is Atkins' mugshot. This is from 20 years ago from the Georgia Department of Corrections, where he had served 3 years in prison for a Cobb County robbery committed in 2000. The Paulding County Sheriff's Office says Deputy Brandon Cunningham and his partner responded to the domestic dispute call here at around 6 p.m. But as soon as they got out of the car, Atkins fired at them from inside the home. You can even see bullet holes in the Paulding County Sheriff's patrol car that was here at the home. Now, Cunningham's partner was unable to get to him because of the gunfire, and other responding deputies were also unable to get to Cunningham and were unable to get him to safety because Atkins was continuing to fire at them from inside the house.
Appears as if our deputies were ambushed, and we don't know at what point where he took his own life, but we know that our deputies were in the midst of a hail of gunfire when they arrived on scene, and the addition.
Breaking news tonight, Councilmember Trayon White has been arrested. White represents Ward 8 in Southeast D.C., and he's known for being outspoken about violence around the district and in his community, even calling for the National Guard.
Every day. Does a day go by where a black politician doesn't get arrested or indicted or brought up on charges or investigated? Does a day go by?
It's that systemic racism getting them, man.
I've been in the same place at the same time with this guy, man. He's so small. This guy could fit in your pocket. He's a teeny little guy, man. But he's the big man over there in Southeast. That's the worst area. It's Ward 8. That's the worst ward. That's the ward with all the baby mamas, all the projects, all the welfare. That's the worst ward in D.C.
Breaking news tonight, Councilmember Trayon White has been arrested. White represents Ward 8 in Southeast D.C., and he's known for being outspoken about violence around the district and in his community, even calling for the National Guard to step in at one point. Now, the councilmember has been working in the community since he was 17 years old. And tonight, we are working to learn more about what led to his arrest. Our Liana Golden is live at the FBI field office tonight. Liana, city leaders are being very tight-lipped about this. What do we know so far?
Yeah, Carl, extremely. We know that White was taken into custody by the FBI. We're outside of their field office right now downtown. We know that arrest took place earlier in the afternoon around 2 o'clock. DC Council Chairman Phil Mendelson confirming that arrest to 7 News, but not really saying much else. And right now, the true nature of the possible charges and allegations brought against White still very, very unclear. We've got a lot of questions here. We don't know why he was taken into custody, really. We did contact the FBI, of course, as well as Metropolitan Police. We are still waiting for someone to get back to us for more information here. In the meantime, Chair Mendelson did send 7 News this statement on the recent developments, saying, quote, both public trust and integrity in elected officials is critically important. We're trying to gather the facts at this time, end quote. So not diving too deep into the situation here, but acknowledging that this is fresh and there is certainly plenty more to learn about what is at play here and why an elected official here in the district was taken in by federal authorities. Now, it is also important to note that this is really not the first time White has made headlines since being elected in 2016. 2 years into his time in office, he went online and blamed a renowned Jewish baking family for controlling the weather. He later apologized for those comments, only to face more scrutiny.
I remember when you did that, man. That was hysterical, man.
2 years into his time in office, he went online and blamed a renowned Jewish baking family for controlling the weather. He later...
I'm glad to see he's turned it all around after his time in Oz Penitentiary.
Yeah, facts. He got fisherman derangement syndrome, man. A Jewish baking family controlling the weather, man. What the fuck, man? I remember when he said that shit, man, but it was...
They don't control the weather. They control the weathermen.
Yeah, that's true. Facts. That was hysterical though, man. He did that shit, man. Wow. They control the weather, man. Jews get a Ain't a rough break, man. Come on, man. Like, can we go easy on the Jews for a little bit, man?
They get a lot of credit.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, man.
If the only weather they control is if there's lead in the sky, they kind of control that.
Yeah, facts.
Bullets.
Apologized for those
Yes.
comments only to face more scrutiny after leaving a tour of the Holocaust Museum early. Apparently, he disappeared, leaving his staff members to finish the experience with.
So they went on a tour of the Holocaust Museum. He dipped out.
He's the only city councilman with a booster seat.
Telling you, man. This guy is funny, man.
Without him. Now, White was also named in an MPD investigation in 2019 when his car was involved in an alleged hit and run, but he claimed he wasn't behind the wheel. An MPD later on confirmed that information. So, of course, we have a lot of questions for the council member here and his staff. It's very likely that much more on this situation will develop tomorrow morning heading into the new week. So you'll want to stick with 7 News for all of those updates, both on air and online. For now,
He was tried as a teenager.
Wow. Oh my God, man.
Had to go to juvie.
It never stops, man. It never stops with these people, man.
Good evening. I'm Sierra Fox. Tonight, we're continuing to follow that breaking news. Fox 5 has confirmed D.C. Councilmember Trayon White was arrested by the FBI. White represents Ward 8 in Southeast D.C. Fox 5's David Kaplan is live outside the Wilson Building in Northwest. And David, what have you been able to uncover so far?
He represents
Yes,
Ward
Sierra,
8
we've
and
confirmed
Grade
this through
8.
Council President Phil Mendelson. He confirmed to Fox 5 that Trayon White, who represents Ward 8 for the D.C. Council, was arrested by the FBI around 2 o'clock this afternoon. Now, Mendelson tells Fox 5 that he did not have any knowledge that there was any sort of investigation into White. We also have to be clear off the top here that we don't know what these charges are or what the nature of these charges are. There's still a lot of questions swirling around this as this news is broken late this afternoon. Fox 5 has reached out to the FBI. They are not commenting at this time. I spoke with another source who told me that they're trying to get additional details as well, but that the people that the source has reached out to for more information don't have any. Fox 5 also has calls into White's office as well. We have not heard back from them. White was just on Fox 5 2 days ago talking with our Chad Ricardo about the needs of kids in Ward 8 and the importance of good role models. As for Mendelson, his office out with a statement saying, quote, both public trust and integrity in elected officials is critically important. We are trying to gather the facts at this time. And, quote, White was first elected to the D.C. Council in 2016, so he has been serving since January of 2017. He also just recently, this past June, won his primary with ease, getting over 50% of the vote against 2 other opponents. So again, Sierra, lots of information that we don't have at this time. We have multiple inquiries out to multiple agencies, multiple people to try and learn more. We'll bring you the very latest starting at 10 o'clock tonight on Fox 5. Sierra?
So nobody knows anything, man. Let's see.
The Ward 8 council member's arrest happened earlier this afternoon. Witnesses tell WUSA 9 the FBI surrounded the area, went into an apartment complex on K Street in Navy Yard. Tonight, our Leslie Moreno has more on how this arrest all unfolded.
The arrest happened here behind me at the 10 Cahill South Apartments in Navy Yard. Residents we spoke with say they saw those FBI agents walk into the building. You can still see Ward 8 council member Trayon White's vehicle parked outside the complex. Chairman Phil Mendelson's office confirmed the arrest with WUSA 9. A spokesperson says Mendelson was not aware of an investigation and does not have any information on any charges. Residents we spoke with here say they saw several undercover detectives and they watched as they entered the building with long guns. Residents tell us FBI agents went up to the penthouse suite. Tonight, constituents say it's shocking and they want to know why their council member was arrested.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it was something pretty serious. They had the block shut off for a good time, but
this is not one of his constituents. This is Southwest, so this would be Ward 7, I think, or maybe Ward 6, but he lives. I don't know why he lives here. He doesn't live in his ward. I don't know why he doesn't live in his ward, but whatever. This is where AOC lives. This is around the corner where AOC lives. This is where that Minnesota congresswoman got assaulted by the Sun Man in the elevator. This is where a lot of this is near Nats Park where the Nationals play. This is a neighborhood where a lot of politicians live.
Yeah, it seemed like they had a good handle. We only saw really the second part of it, so. But yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff.
It was very surprising because it's just an average Sunday, and it was pretty wild to see everybody in the lobby here, and it's usually pretty quiet, so it was kind of a shock.
Yeah, but the Sun Man bring drama, man. Even if he is a city councilman.
It's usually pretty quiet, so it was kind of a shock.
It'll be interesting to read really what happened, what the charges are going to be.
Councilmember White was first elected to represent Ward 8 in 2016. He is seeking a third term and just won the Democratic primary in June. According to our partners at the Washington Post, White was fined $40,000 by the D.C. Office of Campaign Finance for failing to provide documentation to explain thousands of dollars of expenditures related to his 2020 re-election.
That's him right there. So he's already been fined $40,000 for mismanagement of funds. Maybe that's what it got to do with. They came in there with long guns, though, shut down the whole complex and dragged this little dude out like that, man.
Thousands of dollars of expenditures related to his 2020 re-election bid and his 2022 mayoral run. The Post reports White appealed the fines related to his 2020 race, but the 2022 case is still outstanding. We did reach out to the council member's office and his campaign staff and have not heard back yet. A spokesperson for the FBI
So he won't be speaking
Washington
at the Democratic
Field
National
Office had
Convention.
no comment on.
You never know, man. The story of triumph, man, and resolve, man. He overcame, man.
On the incident as far
Mash on Kim Kardashian, man.
as why Councilmember Trayon White was arrested, that is still unclear. In Southeast DC, Les Moreno, WUSA 9.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't know what happened with that, man.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm David Rose, and tonight we're starting with crimes caught on camera and the suspects who just can't stay out of the spotlight. We begin with a violent attack on two women and a man just trying to go home from work near the Great Wheel in Seattle. A warning for you, this video is brutal, but the victims are going to be okay, and they are on their way to getting justice, all thanks to a concerned neighbor who fired up her cell phone camera when things started to go down.
Hey, you pieces! Knock it off!
That was the reaction of a witness who called 911 after a violent attack in Seattle on April 10th. She started recording when she heard an argument on the street below. Seattle police said a brother, sister, and their cousin were leaving work.
I told you it was a brother, but it's a fender bender. Oh yeah, he got a
sweatsuit on with some Yeezy slides. That's like 99% gotta be a nigga.
Yeah.
Looks like part of a road crew.
After a violent attack in Seattle on April 10th, she started recording when she heard an argument on the street below. Seattle police say a brother, sister, and their cousin were leaving work when they commented that a black BMW SUV was parked very close to the front of their car. The guy you see there in the orange had his window down and took offense to that. So he got out and an argument ensued.
Damn.
Are you serious? He got out to argue with him because he was too close to his car?
But they said something about it. They said they mentioned it. Come on, man. You think about you a son, you sitting there.
Nah, bro. I'm not about to start arguing with somebody because they close to my car.
No, not arguing with them, but you know that's a son reaction.
Oh yeah, of course. But it's still retarded. I'm just
yeah. But I think I will, like, I can see a lot of sons I know.
Of course, yeah, for sure.
being, I don't know if it would go all this far, but I'm talking about like looking back, like with an attitude, like what the fuck you say? You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that. Yeah, man. This is you can't say shit to sons, man.
With him yelling at them. At one point, the sister, who is 5'3", 110 pounds, flips his phone out of his hand. He hauls back and strikes her in the face, knocking her to the
That was a little short hook too.
Yep.
That was a little like, that hook right there. That was a left too.
Was
he
it a
looked
slap
like
or
he
a
right
punch?
hand down. Yeah, you can't knock somebody's head. You can't knock somebody's phone out their head.
Yeah, he's way out of the line for touching his property.
Oh, that's a slap. That's a girl. This is a girl.
That's a slap.
That's a chick.
Yeah, that's a chick.
Oh,
Is that a sister? That's a sister too. Look
This
at
is
her
a
hand.
slap. This is an open hand slap. Oh shit! Think about how quick he reacted to slapper. Look at the Sun Man. We were made to be pimps, man.
It's a reflex.
It's DNA.
It was all instinct.
Who did she think? Look, the phone didn't even hit the ground yet. God, he slapped her before the phone hit the ground.
Her and the phone hit the ground at the same time. It's crazy.
Wow.
That is just who does that to a Sun Man and doesn't expect.
Yeah, if you do that to a Sun Man, you're basically like, I'm ready for whatever happens after that.
Yeah, you should call your family before you do some shit like that.
Yeah, you got to get your stuff in order.
Damn. Oh shit.
Hands up, saying he doesn't want to
fucking
fight.
up everybody.
Before hitting the female cousin as well, dropping her to the pavement. Security
Well,
comes
that's
over,
right.
but this guy doesn't stick around. He gets in his vehicle and leaves. It took 6 minutes for his first victim to regain consciousness, and she suffered a bad concussion. When Seattle police ran the license plate, it came back to one Dalil Downs. That Downs name may be familiar to you here on the Spotlight, because Dalil is the brother of Janice Downs, who we've told you has been charged with leading a ring of organized thieves and stealing $500,000 worth of Lululemon clothing.
They was running down on Lululemon, remember? It was her and like two other chicks.
Yeah, that's her
They're
brother.
a famous
Wow.
family. They're like the Jacksons or
Yeah,
something. They're famous.
Yeah, man.
That's how he was able to finance that BMW.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Look, man. I mean, it is just, what can you say, man? What can you say, man?
When Seattle
you don't
police
tug
ran
on
the license
Superman's
plate,
cape?
it came back to one Dalil Downs. That Downs name may be familiar to you here on the Spotlight, because Dalil is the brother of Janice Downs, who we've told you has been charged with leading a ring of organized thieves and stealing $500,000 worth of Lululemon clothing. Turns out the attack happened hours after Janice and her mother, Janice Wiley, were arraigned in the organized retail theft case. When detectives looked at the court video, they saw Dalil wearing that same orange outfit. Then also located a photo of him wearing orange at work. Seems he likes orange. The evidence was enough for the prosecutor, who's charged him with 3 counts of assault. He showed up for his arraignment and has pleaded not guilty. Downs is free right now, awaiting trial.
How do you plead not guilty to that?
I mean, you plead not guilty because here's the thing. The DA may throw it out. Like,
Yeah, they'll either throw it down or plea it down.
Yeah,
that was a smart move.
In these cities, like you always plead not guilty, but now, like, yeah, you plead not guilty to anything because they're throwing, there's no paper and stuff. They're throwing things out. You'd be a fool to plead guilty to anything, no matter how much evidence was against you. Let's see what else is going on.
A ride aboard a Metro bus forced a man into a fight for his life when a group of up to 15 youth attacked him with a knife. The victim was taking the bus through Kent when he was assaulted near the intersection of 108th Avenue and 208th Street. KOMO's Joel Moreno live tonight in Kent with what we know about the suspects as investigators try to make arrests. Joel?
No one in custody so far, Preston, and investigators, they do not know the exact ages of these suspects. So they could be teenagers, they could be young adults. What we do know, though, is that more than a dozen people are being sought after a frightening encounter aboard public transit. A well-traveled metro route through Kent became a terrifying ride for one passenger when he was confronted on board the bus by a group of youth and then attacked.
That's horrible. That's awful. That's dreadful. I mean, that's very concerning.
Investigators say it was a little after 11 o'clock at night when the bus was passing through the intersection where 108th crosses 208th Street. That's when a knife came out and a man in his late 50s was stabbed.
It's crazy. I don't know. It just breaks my heart that anybody would want to hurt anyone, ever.
I'm a little nervous about taking public transport for exactly that reason.
As many as 15 young people are being sought in the bus attack. However, we don't know if more than one suspect was armed with a knife and involved in the stabbing, or if the others merely acted as accomplices.
The buses are just generally sketchy. I'm scared to take public transportation because, there's a lot.
All these white people, everybody they're interviewing is a white woman, it seems, and they're saying they're scared to take public transportation. I bet this place, Kent. What's the demographics on Kent, guys? Anybody know this? Kent, Washington.
Kent, Ohio. Oh, Washington.
Kent. Does anybody know the demographics on Kent, Washington? Because I bet this place has a small Sun population, and it doesn't matter how small the population is. They still have women.
Population is 134K.
10% poverty rate.
So that's probably about 8% sons.
Here we go.
13%.
22% black.
22. Jeez.
38% white, non-Hispanic. Asian non-Hispanic is 23%. Black African non-Hispanic. 12. Sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say I got 12.9, so basically 13.
Yeah.
That's still a huge number. Like that's 12%. Enough. That's enough to make white women not want to get on the bus.
It's a lot of tigers out there.
Bus was passing through the intersection where,
and you know what them tigers are going through.
Yeah, they getting hell.
108th crosses 208th Street. That's when a knife came out and a man in his late 50s was stabbed.
It's crazy. I don't know. It just breaks my heart that anybody would want to hurt anyone, ever.
I'm a little nervous about taking public transport for exactly that reason.
As many as 15 young people are being sought in the bus attack. However, we don't know if more than one suspect was armed with a knife and involved in the stabbing, or if the others merely acted as accomplices.
The buses are just generally sketchy. I'm scared to take public transportation because, there's a lot of crime on the streets.
Why the man was confronted by a large hostile group is unclear. Investigators declined to talk about potential motives, saying they're focused on identifying the suspects and making arrests.
I don't even know how to make sure that doesn't happen because there's only so much the driver can do. I mean, all they're doing is driving.
That's a goddamn.
I think that's terrible, and I think that we should have more police.
That's an African.
The man who was stabbed, he was taken to Harborview Medical Center. At the time that he was transported, he was said to have non-life-threatening injuries. We are working to get an update on his recovery. Reporting live, Joel Marino, Como News.
All right, thanks.
The only reason why they're even scared of public transportation or considering it being dangerous is because of the young people.
And by young people, they mean sun turtles.
Yeah.
The teens.
The teens. Yeah. It's not because of the tigers.
Friend a call to a neighbor from a close friend.
Dave was just assaulted. He's lying in the street. He's with Chip.
Caleb Shuey rushed over to find David Philpott sitting on the side of the road.
Pretty obviously had a broken arm. He was complaining of hip pain, blood, from his forearms are all ripped up. And
the entire attack captured on nearby surveillance. Here's David walking his dog Chip. Here's the suspect, Caleb, explaining what David told him before the attack happened.
Some guy asked me for money. I said I didn't have any. He started harassing me. I said,
"Yeah, white people, come in. White people, round, gather up here, man. Come in close, man. When a Sun man on the street, jibber jabber starts talking to you, asks you a question, and you're this far away, man, he should have did like Central Park Karen and yoked that dog up by his neck and jogged down the street. You're a distance.
You don't let him close distance, man.
Yeah, you stopped and talked to him, and no gliders. And I get it, man. Trust me. And make sure you hit the like button. Take the $5 challenge via PayPal, Cash App, or the super chat. Shout out to DM. He says Melungeons do it too. Yeah. I wonder what part of their DNA causes that. But listen, man. Let me tell you something, man. I feel bad for this glider. Salute to Deluxe 247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real MVP, coming through once again. I feel bad for this glider, 76 years old, and he went out like this. But for you gliders going forward, those of you that are still with us, man, this ends the conversations a lot. Say, bro, you guys, and keep on walking. Like a glance in the eye, hand up, and keep on walking. Or if you're like going into a store or something at the gas station or whatever, or at the 7-Eleven hanging out in front, I'm using the card. That kind of ends the conversation. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want to engage them, man. Not because they're gonna kill you like this guy. This is a rare aberration, but that they may harass you or assault you or something like that, or just you know what I'm saying, make you uncomfortable. But yes, when I see this guy here, it makes me sad because it's like, damn, dude, all you had to do was keep walking. You turned around on some white guy shit, making small talk and shit.
You think this is sun? That nigga's skin light as hell, man.
No, this definitely is. This is Baltimore, man. There ain't been
Baltimore. Okay.
Yeah, Baltimore. Yo, this is a sun, man. Jeff.
David walking his dog Chip. Here's the suspect. Caleb explaining what David told him before the attack happened.
Some guy asking me for money. I said I didn't have any. He started harassing me. I said, I need you to get away from me.
I will say this, his arms are pretty short. He's got some short arms. But this guy's got some real short arms. But I'm going to go on the line.
Asking me for money. I said I didn't have any. He started
it looks
harassing
short.
me.
He's got a long shirt.
I need you to get away from me and go get help, and knocked him to the ground and started kicking him. 5'8", 5'9", white guy, dirty blonde hair.
White guy.
Yeah, I thought it was a glider.
Yeah, he did have some short arms. That was a red flag, man. Look at those little short little arms.
At this angle, the victim looks darker than the perpetrator.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a white on white crime, man.
Wow. He should know better, man. What the hell?
Some guy asking me for money. I said I didn't have any. He started harassing me. I said, I need you to get away from me and go get help, and knocked him to the ground and started kicking him. 5'8", 5'9", white guy, dirty blonde hair, scruffy.
Pretty sad kicks.
Casually walks away. Minutes later, police arrive.
Vietnam vet, serves his country. He's been through it, and survived. The nicest guy on the planet. You can tell that, he values life and enjoys himself. Always out with Chip, walking around.
To add insult to injury, the suspect pets Chip seconds before knocking Philpott to the ground.
Guy that's been in this neighborhood forever.
In fact, here's Philpott on Fox 45 4 years ago, standing guard at an open mailbox, making sure nothing was stolen, less than a block from where he was assaulted.
This is really important, and it just concerns me.
4 years later,
Wow.
Philpott is now deceased after being attacked near Fells Point.
Drops his wife off.
Oh, what's Fells Point? Oh.
At work, they talk about plans for dinner, takes the dog for a walk, and then gets attacked in broad daylight on a busy stretch of road in Fells Point.
Although Baltimore police are not calling Philpott's
What
death
the
a
fuck?
homicide, Caleb is asking what else could
I'm
it
not
be?
even gonna
So
lie,
he's
man.
heartbroken over the loss of.
That was a glider ass whooping too, man.
Yeah, those
A
kicks.
son would have, yeah, son would have, like, you would have clearly been able to tell that nigga was dead, man. That
Would have shot the
them
dog.
boys, he patted the dog and
Yeah, he didn't. The stomp to the head. When I saw the stomp to the head, that should have been a red flag too.
It was pretty feeble.
Like, look, what's this stomp? What's this head?
Knocked him to the ground and started kicking him. 5'8", 5'9", white guy.
Yeah,
it's
Like he's
no,
trying to
it's
wipe.
no,
It's like he's trying to wipe his shoe on him.
yeah, it's no evil in that kick, man. It's
Yeah, that's a glider. That was definitely a glider. But it was so many red flags. I feel bad, man. I usually can tell races, man. That there's so many. I just assumed because it was Baltimore, man.
That guy's got a big head too. He shouldn't have missed.
Yeah. Wow.
Loss of his friend.
You keep hearing crime is down, violent crime is down.
What do you know?
Yeah, well, tell that to Dave, tell that to the people that walk this strip of road every day.
Vincent
Now,
Hill.
if you'll excuse me, I
Fox
have to go
45
canvas
News.
for.
I'm Mary Bubala. Thank
Harris.
you for watching. Here's another.
Yeah. I get my door hangers, man.
I gotta put up some signs for Kamala.
Yeah, man. Facts. Wow, white on white crime.
white on white crime, man.
In Northeast Baltimore, a crime involving juveniles that has one resident shaking her head.
You're just afraid to go out nowadays. I can't come out sit on the porch because I don't know who's coming around nowadays.
Miss Louise, 76 years old, not showing her face, but talking about what happened near her home. Police say a 15-year-old male was walking down Brims Lane near Brandon Avenue Thursday afternoon when a group of males, some of them armed with guns, approached the teen. Police say they assaulted the victim, struck him in the face, and robbed him of $5.
People are crazy nowadays. They'll do anything for a couple bucks.
Another crime with juveniles, both as a victim and suspect. In this case, police say they located and arrested two males, 15 and 17 years old. This case, a grim reminder for Miss Louise.
I've got carjacked once. I don't want to do it again.
She says it happened about 2 years ago as she and her husband arrived home. They were unloading their car when two young kids, as she describes them, approached her, demanded the keys to her car.
They were on bicycles and they just came up behind my husband and I at the time. And I had the keys in my hand and they grabbed them.
Did they have a gun?
No. They just started pushing and shoving.
The young suspects grabbed the keys, drove away. The car recovered 2 weeks later with some damage. The suspects never caught. Thursday's incident near Miss Louise coming on the heels of another carjacking involving juveniles. Earlier this week, Baltimore police received reports of 3 armed carjackings in 3 different city districts, all within 1 hour of each other. BPD has also confirmed out of 5 recent arrests for armed carjackings, 3 of the suspects are juveniles. Fox 45 News pressing Police Commissioner Richard Worley this week about the cases and the young people involved.
Carjackings are actually down. Our street robberies are up because our young people have figured out if they steal a car and do a street robbery, they can do multiple ones, and we're trying to work. We did really well with catching carjackers. And then, unfortunately, we're still dealing with the juvenile issue.
Where the parents are, maybe they should be punished for, the kids doing some of this stuff or paid for some of this stuff.
Like sent back to Africa.
Well, police say both of the teens involved in that armed assault and robbery were taken to the Juvenile Justice Center where they were processed and charged accordingly. We're live tonight. Keith Daniels, Fox 45 News.
Oh, Lord.
It's weird. It's one of the rare instances, where your banner headline story for the night is a white-on-white crime.
Yeah,
Like I ran.
man.
See, things are getting better.
White people do it too, you know.
That means urban crime is down.
Yeah, facts.
You should have a cake.
Finally see what Son's been saying every time you bring up Chicago, you know.
White people do it too.
Reaction to the body camera video just released by the New Jersey Attorney General showing a woman in distress shot by police. Allie Bauman is outside the Fort Lee building where the shooting happened. In 2 911 calls before police arrive, Victoria Lee's brother tells the dispatcher that his sister is having a mental crisis and asks for an ambulance. The dispatcher tells him that police would have to be sent as well, and the brother calls back and tries to cancel that call, but the dispatcher tells him that's not possible. He tells them his sister has a foldable knife, and police arrive soon after, which is where the video starts, and we must warn you.
Why didn't he get the foldable knife from his sister before the cops got there? Well, I mean, you know, like you.
What a great way to win the lottery. You know, you call the cops on your deranged sister and then hope that maybe they take her out and you can collect.
I mean,
seemed like a smart plan to me.
No, we'll see.
It may be disturbing to watch. In the body camera video released by the New Jersey Attorney General's office, you see Fort Lee police officers talk to the brother of 25-year-old Victoria Lee, who had a diagnosis of bipolar disorder and was inside the family's apartment early July 28th.
She was upset. She got a B on her math test.
Sir, do me a favor. Step back.
Oh, what's she say?
Go ahead, I'll stab you in the neck.
Sir.
Damn. He said, go ahead, I'll stab you in this. Wow.
Early July 28th.
I'm going to break the door down.
Go ahead, I'll stab you in the neck.
Sir.
She's melange Asian.
We don't want to shoot you. We want to talk to you.
As more officers arrive, you can hear them discussing using lethal versus non-lethal weapons.
Who wants to go less lethal? Who wants to go lethal? All right, I'll go lethal.
A few seconds later, they break down the door.
Drop the knife! Drop the knife!
Or freezing the video before police fire.
Shit.
Now, do you have to shoot this woman? Is there, like, can you, like, hit her in the head with a brick or something?
That's what
a boot.
I know she got a knife, but I feel like she's going through like a mental health crisis, man. I don't. It's.
I rebuke you.
Yeah, man. We this one man. He didn't have to shoot her, man. I know all the sisters mad. They triggered now, man. Triggered the sisters like.
This is the one I was talking about.
Yeah, you didn't say that about Sonya Massey, man. Yeah, man, this a little Asian chick, man. They be docile, man.
Yeah, she a tiger. Like she'll be all right, man.
Just a front kick would end it, you know.
Yeah, all you gotta do is grab her wrist and squeeze, and she'll be done, man. She's done.
Throw a math problem in front of her.
She just needed a little.
A few seconds later, they break down the door.
Drop the knife! Drop the knife!
Or freezing the video before police fire a shot, hitting Lee. They pull her into the hallway as she bleeds and moans before she dies. Water gushes onto the floor, but it's unclear from the video if Lee was holding.
Oh shit! Yeah, you gotta shoot her. She had water, man. Water's dangerous, man. Trust me, man. Nobody knows that better than I do, man. Yeah, shoot that bitch, man. Fuck that. She had water. I don't care if it was hot or cold. You already know we in the post Sonya Massey era, man. Don't be coming to the door with no damn water.
Gushes onto the floor, but it's unclear from the video if Lee was holding a knife. Earlier this week, her family maintained she was unarmed at the time.
The police responded aggressively.
What
and
is going
forcibly
on?
entered the apartment.
White on white crime, Asian press conference.
Yeah, but how do you respond to that? Like, not aggressively? Like, every police response is aggressive, man. Like, no matter what they're responding to, it's aggressive. If you got a cat stuck in the tree and two police officers pull up and get out the car, and they're standing there with guns and shit and vests on, looking up at the tree. That's more aggressive than like that situation calls for. Anything. Like what are they supposed to do? You lock the door. You're in there with another person. You're locked
She made
in
a
there with
threat
another
too.
person.
She threatened too.
Yeah.
I will stab. She said she was going to stab him.
Yeah.
They have every reason to believe she's going to do what she says.
Yeah, it's another person in there that they need to save. So this is the Asian Ben Crump right here, man. Ben Crump.
Her family maintained she was unarmed at the time.
The police responded aggressively and forcibly entered the apartment and fatally shot Victoria, who was holding a plastic water jar at the time. She was harmless.
Earlier this week, Lee's family described her as a beloved individual with a bright future and said they're seeking justice in her death. The New Jersey State Attorney General's office is investigating the shooting. From Fort Lee, New Jersey, Allie Bauman, CBS News, New York.
As a tiger, I could believe she had a bright future, man. As a tiger. When niggas say that shit, the nigga got like 10 felonies, 5 baby mamas that's 16 and shit. Talking about he got a bright future.
But the thing with her though was she had all that shit that Sonya Bland had too, like all that schizophrenic shit.
Yeah, she got that work, man, and she they opened up that door and they lit her ass up, man. She got that.
On this backyard basketball court, nothing blocks these kids from scoring, but some restrictions created before they were born say they can't live here or fill the space.
What did you find out about this property?
It literally says it's only to be occupied by a Caucasian race.
Darnell Baker manages
Oh my
Quincy House,
God.
a safe space offering extracurricular activities and mentorship, primarily serving Black
Here
and
we
brown
go.
youth.
Historically, this house, we're not allowed. And this house is permeated with people of color.
In this letter from the city, Baker learned Quincy House is one of 571 homes in Mounds View, Minnesota, with a racial covenant, a legal clause embedded in property deeds designed to ban non-whites from owning or occupying property. Unenforceable today under federal and state law, but the clauses still sit on the page of many deeds, a reminder of how discrimination was printed directly into legal contracts with impacts still felt today.
What is the green
No
represent?
way.
The green are racial covenants. Even though racial covenants have been illegal since 1968,
Right, that's what I'm saying.
to determine who lives where.
Historian Kirsten Delagar leads the Mapping Prejudice Project at the University of Minnesota. We first met in 2016 when the project started tracing the history of racial covenants. Delegard says covenants like the ones in Mounds View prevented Black families from home ownership.
Look at how nice it is.
In concert with
They
They
I
want to
wouldn't
keep
wanna
it that
know
way.
that. Yeah. Great job, Mounds View, man. Y'all ain't do nothing wrong, man. Y'all was
I bet
smart.
this stuff only becomes I bet this stuff only becomes an issue when there's a title transfer, and this is just people who've owned the house for 40 years are selling, and this shit's still in the books. That's all this is.
There's no way you
Yeah.
can enforce it though. You can't. You can't do this.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
It's an old thing. Probably last time it was probably enforceable was probably before the Civil Rights Act. Probably like 60 years ago.
You can't rent to witches. You know, they have all kinds of stuff on the books.
Yeah, this was a long time ago when this stuff was, and these sons is bringing this shit back up because it's election.
Niggas need something to complain about. And
yeah.
They're complaining that they can't.
Delegard says
move into
covenants
places they
like the
can-
ones in Mounds View prevented Black families from home ownership.
racial covenants worked in concert with discriminatory lending practices, real estate steering, and white violence. And in some places where we have found
She's crying. Smash on her though. Smash on the dark, but she's crying. Is that a tear right there? Is that a tear right there?
Oh shit.
No, okay.
A little glassy-eyed.
There are no covenants. When we go to the archival record and look at newspaper reports, we find that those areas were intense sites of violence against Black families.
For example, in
I don't
1931,
believe it.
the Lee family purchased a home in a white Minneapolis neighborhood. News articles from the time show neighbors vandalized it. Then,
Oh, you mean
a
90
mob of
years ago?
thousands taunted and tormented the family, forcing the Lees to move. And scars of America's racist, violent past persist.
Oh,
Multiple studies show white neighborhoods have more parks and
That was
tree cover,
Memphis.
while communities of color have more landfills and highways, leading to poor air quality, not to mention the lasting
oh my God.
Wow.
Oh,
this neighborhood. News articles from the time show neighbors vandalized it. Then, a mob of thousands taunted and tormented the family, forcing the Lees to move. And scars of America's racist, violent past persist. Multiple studies show white neighborhoods have more parks and tree cover, while communities of color have more landfills and
this nigga
highways,
is so
leading to poor air quality, not to
devious.
mention the
You had to
lasting
look into
consequences
all
of the
this.
home ownership gap between
Everything she just said, you had to look into all this shit, man. It's too narrative driven, man.
violent past persist. Multiple studies show white neighborhoods have more parks and tree cover, while communities of color have more landfills and highways, leading
what
to
they don't
poor
say?
air quality, not to mention the lasting consequences.
They don't say whites pay a premium to live where there are more parks. The houses cost twice as much, and the African-American community can't afford them anyway. It's like, yeah, they're moving up. That's where the parks are. That's why they pay enough money to live there.
Yeah, that's true. They make it seem like a trailer park and shit is better than any black neighborhood or some shit.
Consequences of the home ownership gap between Black and white families and generational wealth inequality. And that ugly covenant language is sometimes so tiny, buried in deeds like this, that people need a magnifying glass to read. But now the focus shifting, a groundswell of community activism across the country, prompting action like here in Mounds View.
My kids are children of color. I'm married to a woman of color.
Mayor Zach Lindstrom and the city council.
Stupid.
What the fuck
Tiger.
does that mean? The fuck does of color mean?
Tiger.
Like, it was black people. I mean, like, this wasn't made. This was probably made for specifically black people. Even though it says only white people could live there, they wouldn't be upset if fucking Tiger moved in there, man. They just don't want niggas in there.
Council passing an ordinance requiring homeowners to discharge racial covenants when selling homes.
Aye. It's disturbing to me that in 2024, that language still exists.
Discharging the covenant
Oh my
doesn't
God.
erase the history. It adds a clause from the current homeowner recognizing and rejecting the covenant. Back at Quincy House,
I think often we get stuck with reparations as financial. This is reparation.
a front yard sign promises all are welcome here, but those covenants a reminder that wasn't always the case.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app.
Jesus.
If I had a home, I'd sell it to a
Well,
glider.
it's certainly a complaint we hear often these days, the homeless setting up camp right in the middle of neighborhoods.
In tonight's City in Crisis report, a homeless woman says the neighbors are making her life miserable. I went out to the neighborhood to find out what's happening. It's a festering divide between housed neighbors and those who live on the streets.
Okay, which one is it in?
In one Southeast Portland neighborhood, it's on full display.
Yeah, I stay here. So, yeah, this is when I say I'm coming home, this is where I come to. So, yeah, I'm part of
So you just parked the fucking trailer in front of somebody's fucking home? You asshole. You're an asshole, bitch. Fuck you.
Yeah, this is when I say I'm coming home, this is where I come to. So, yeah, I'm part of the neighborhood. I'm a neighbor.
This is Samantha.
Melungeon?
Come here.
Definitely a melungeon. Look at her.
Yeah, that's a melungeon right there.
Oh, melungeon, man. You fucking bitch. You
Goddamn melungeon.
Look at this fucking layout they got. You can tell these people take care of their shit. You can't just, you got to take care of this. You got to maintain that. and this bitch just pulls up in a fucking trailer. It's like, I live here now, in front of your fucking house. Most people don't like when somebody parks in front of their fucking house, let alone fucking lives there. A fucking old fat ass dirty melungeon.
This is Samantha.
Come here. Come see mama.
She lives in this trailer with her 2 cats right on the street corner.
Hi. Hey, mommy, Bobby.
It's a quiet neighborhood, aside from the occasional coyote appearance.
Is that a coyote?
Yes, it is. Better watch your cats.
Yeah.
Samantha has been parked here with the trailer and 2 other vehicles for about 5 months. She claims from...
So she's got 3. She just parks in front of your house with 3 fucking vehicles.
That's up shop.
And you just got to deal with that shit. Well, they asked for it, so fuck them.
You got to walk outside. You got the kids with you. You see this fucking melungeon chilling.
Crazy,
some bullshit,
man. This is bullshit. Fuck this woman, man. She trying to play the victim. Fuck her. Yeah, she trying to play the victim.
In Portland, she is the
From
victim.
the get-go, some neighbors have made it clear she's not welcome.
And somebody came up to my door and stood on the outside of the door for a long time. And he was just standing there. And then he goes, I want you out of here. I was like, dude, I just got here. He's like, well, we don't want your kind in our neighborhood. And I was like, I'm on the street, dude. I'm not doing anything to you. You don't even know me. He's like, I don't want to know you.
And she claims passersby tossed dog feces at her trailer. And then the other day, she heard voices outside.
And then they were right outside the trailer. And he goes, when you got to go, you got to go. And I was like, that's a weird thing to say, you know? And he goes, haven't you ever jumped out of your car and peed on the side of the road? And then I heard like water. And dude peed on my car in the middle of the day. He peed on my car, dude.
Oh, shit.
Who does that? These are people who are housed. And I'm supposed to be the one that's messed up?
One neighbor I spoke with off camera said their neighborhood is especially sensitive after having to deal with another homeless person who lived nearby and became aggressive and violent. Another neighbor offered to meet with me to outline their concerns with Samantha, but later changed their mind.
I think they're all different.
Michael Slyman lives across the street. He's been here for a homeless person who lived nearby and became aggressive and violent. Another neighbor offered to meet with me to outline their concerns with Samantha, but later changed their mind.
I think they're all different.
Michael Slyman lives across the street. He's been here for 27 years. He loves the neighborhood, even if Samantha's trailer isn't exactly aesthetically pleasing.
It's not like a rich person's neighborhood, but everybody goes to work and comes back and, works in their yard. So, it doesn't look great, but it doesn't really.
It doesn't look
If you
great.
allow one, you're going to have 5.
Exactly, you fucking moron. Let's look at his face. He doesn't bleed. Just look at his facial
in their yard. So, it doesn't look great, but it doesn't really bother me.
And where's her man? How does she have all that and there's not some freeloading dirtbag dude living with her?
Yeah, I would expect it to be a sun man over there somewhere.
There's going to be one, and then when he comes, you got to deal with that. Shit. That's crazy. This is sad, man. These people fucking, and this is, and they gotta act woke because their whole existence is woke, and this is some woke shit. So they can't deviate from the woke shit. They can't just tell the truth that they hate this shit.
They got to send a Gavin Newsom up there to chase her off.
Yeah, it's gonna be a sun man over there soon, dropping some Harambe dick off in that unwashed melungeon.
Probably when the rain starts.
In that unwashed melungeon box.
Yeah, man. And she gonna really get bro when her son man come over there because she gonna know she got some backup. Some man will throw his life away trying to back this bitch up.
That much.
So I got the shade from the tree, and nobody parks here, so I'm not in anybody's way or anything like that.
Samantha says she'd like to find permanent housing and has applied several times. She tells us she fell on hard times when she had a medical issue that cost her jobs. She understands why neighbors aren't thrilled with large homeless encampments.
I mean, I got the dashboard where you can see homeless people and their cleanups and all that on my phone. And there was the, big RVs with huge messes out here, and they had to come out and clean up and stuff like that. But I'm not like that, I mean, I don't have dogs that are attacking people or anything like that. I keep to myself and I work.
Can you imagine if somebody pulled up in front of your house with a trailer and had a dog that was attacking you or your kids? Y'all would fucking shoot that person, man.
Damn, that's kind of cold.
Think about that, though. Now, think about that. Somebody just pulls up in front of your fucking house with a trailer and they live there. And all the shit that comes with that. And then now they got a dog that's attacking you and shit.
They pay a lot of money to live on that street. And then someone rolls up with this for free and just makes an encampment in front of your house. No.
Yeah, that's unacceptable. It's totally unacceptable.
That. I know these people taxes sky high.
Yeah, this
It's
is
not even pretty. It's just, if it was neat, maybe, but it's not even neat.
No, I wouldn't care if this woman pulled up in a fucking Maybach trailer. Get the fuck from in front of my house, bitch.
And I'm trying to go forward from where I'm at, and they're not making it easy.
That's when you got to pay a son man to come and chase her off. A white guy walks out of his house and starts talking trash to this woman. She just calls the cops. They deal with him. A son man comes out and says, "Get the fuck from in front of my house." They'll move because they know that son man might just be crazy enough to, fire into their trailer.
Yeah, set that bitch on fire.
So you pay a son man to come chase her off.
Yeah, do that. Or not even have to pay.
Of course, then he kills her, and you're responsible for what some crazy son man did.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Tags her for removal, she'll be gone. In the meantime, she's hoping to keep the peace with her neighbors, wishing they'd understand her plight while she keeps this in mind.
If you're going to be outside, and try to do something better with your life, don't make a huge mess or make a nuisance of yourself or whatever. That's not cool.
We checked on the homeless dashboard. It appears the city did do a check of Samantha's campsite as recently as 2 weeks ago, although it doesn't appear to be on the top of their list for removal. Do you have a...
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, they gonna have to make them work to get that bitch out of there.
I'm surprised she's not running for city council in Portland.
Yeah. It's insane, man. That right there is fucking insane. Wow. Unfucking believable.
Seems like a quiet night in
More
Blackistan.
weekend gun violence took place in the metro area, this time in northeast Portland. That's where a man told us he woke up to an unfamiliar sound early this morning and later found a bullet hole in his window. Fox 1's Carly Olson brings us that story from northeast Sandy Boulevard.
We found 9 bullet markings in the bricks at the side of this apartment building that sits at the intersection of Northeast 48th Avenue and Sandy Boulevard. But one more bullet flew through a window upstairs and into the apartment of Marks Phillips.
I didn't know there was a bullet that went through my apartment until I looked down at the ground on my bathroom floor and saw the actual bullet.
Phillips heard what he thought was a car backfiring at around 2 a.m. Sunday morning.
There was probably about 10 to 12 pops.
That's when he found the bullet, which he believes went through his window, then through his kitchen, and finally ricocheted off a sprinkler pipe.
I got my cat, stuff like that. She plays in that windowsill. So I'm just glad that we're both okay.
Portland police tell us a fight broke out inside of a nearby business and shots were fired outside on the street. They say 2 people were injured but are expected to survive.
Twice in a year from the same location is concerning to me.
Multiple neighbors, including Chris Schneider, can recall another shooting near the intersection a year ago, and he was shocked to hear the gunshots overnight.
I came out here about 20 minutes after, and there were a lot of police here, and I could see shell casings all across Sandy. And it's unacceptable, and I don't know how we get some enforcement. People are treating the neighborhood like it's a playground.
Phillips has only lived there for 6 months and says the location has worked for him. But a close call with a bullet might be a turning point.
It's a little stressful. I definitely don't know if I want to be in that apartment anymore.
Portland police tell us that at this point in time, no one has been arrested as the suspects fled the scene before police arrived. Reporting in Northeast Portland, Carly Olson, Fox 12 Oregon.
They always flee the scene before the police arrive. Damn.
But that money, it was a laundry.
Yeah, man. Got a big work week ahead of us all, man. Salute to everybody out there, man. Salute to all the people that supported the channel tonight, man. Same black time. Same black channel. Out of here. Peace out.
Night, fellas.
Peace.